$250 per first-time depositor, CPA cut in half in 60 days on a Forex crypto deposit campaign, 20,000 players out of Africa on mobile. Today we are talking traffic, casino, crypto, exchanges, and Forex. What formats, what audiences, what numbers are real in 2026? With us, Marko Rendevski, head of performance at Blockchain Ads. He lives inside iGaming and these campaigns every day at Blockchain Ads. Where is my money podcast? Let's go. Marko, 10 seconds, who you are.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello to everybody listening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Marko, thank you for the introduction, head of performance and blockchain ad. My main role is to support advertisers in setting up the right expectation around their KPIs and the business goals. So to prepare from the beginning the media plan and to make sure that the advertising budgets translate into measurable outcomes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Marko, since this show is about money, what is the first traffic number you ever wrote down that made you think, okay, this vertical points?
That's a good question, actually. So we from the very beginning, we started working mainly with blockchain and crypto projects. So something that was printing money when we started was exchanges. Then it shifted to memes. Now it's more to the iGaming, and it's mainly iGaming, something that is printing the most of the money. So in terms, we have like 100 CPA cost per acquisition, and that specific user is spending more than 50K on that account. So that's a huge number that advertisers can get.
Sounds good enough for the beginning. That's very cool result. Congrats on that. So let's talk about where that money comes from when the easy channels are closed. For a media buyer watching this, casino crypto brand or an exchange or a Forex broker with a crypto desk, Google and Meta restricted or useless for this intent. Where does the budget actually go in 2026? Which formats still bring FTDs and funded traders? Display native, video push, or something else?
Yes. So at the moment, Google and Meta, especially for the iGaming, blockchain and crypto, financial trading, and also the prediction markets have become too restrictive. They're maybe inconsistent for everybody, and you cannot always reach the right users. So most of the companies are looking for solutions, how they can overcome this problem that they experience. And regarding the formats, for us, it's not the right format, but it's the right people that you are looking to target. Blockchain ads, it's an audience-based platform where advertisers can target specific users across multiple type of formats and multiple types of placement.
Okay, but if we talk about formats, it doesn't matter, and you may say that it's like equal conversion between all of those, yeah?
It's not unequal, but depends on what is the main objective and the goal. So if the objective is to acquire users, definitely you need to push for some high quality traffic that can be done through native, mainly with display, dynamic ads are something that are performing the best. If the main objective is awareness, then we recommend some video type of campaigns and that kind of stuff.
I got your point, but probably the same user, it is not included in all audiences across all formats. So the question is, what is the biggest format for you as an audience size?
Printing a lot for us is the display ads. The display, the dynamic banners, that is printing a lot. That is bringing the most of the conversions.
Thank you for sharing. So everyone sells interested in crypto audiences. To be honest, that's a proxy, and you guys talk about wallet level and behavior signals. Plain English, what does the converting audience look like for a casino FTD versus for an exchange trader? Give me one example that works and one that looks smart and dies.
Yes, so Blockchain ads as an audience-based platform is mainly focusing on who see the ads rather than where the ads are shown. So we have divided the targeting into two different types of audiences. So we have the on-chain behavior targeting, where advertisers can target pre-built audiences that are created based on on-chain activity, on-chain behavior, and on-chain data. So those are the three main points that we are using so we can create that specific users. The Web3 technology is used for this user to be created. What you can target under this on-chain behavior targeting. So you can target different portfolio sizes. You can target specific token holders, and you can target also specific behavior. Specifically for iGaming, as you mentioned, all of the audiences has interacted with the smart contract from an iGaming project in the last 90 days. And also you mentioned about the exchanges is the same way. So they have interacted in the last 90 days, interacting with the smart contracts from the exchanges.
Thank you for sharing. You mentioned display is the biggest traffic source on your side. But if we talk about conversion rates, did you compare the conversion from display, push, video ads, and so on? Which is the most convertible on your side? And why do you think so?
Yes. So the display is the one that is printing the most of the users, but it's also bringing them the most of the quality. We do experience a good numbers also in the pop, push, under, where the traffic is a little bit more cheaper. It's not recommended because the quality cannot be always at the highest level. That's why we always recommend to start with display and then from there to test another type of formats.
But is it still possible to get FTDs from push and pop traffic in 2026?
Yes, it's still possible, but the quality that there is, it's not on the same level as the display.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So let's talk about funnels and campaign structure. For prospecting plus retargeting on casino and crypto, what's your basic funnel template? And walk me through the buckets you always build. With it no reg, no deposit, FTD, reactivation, and whatever actually you use.
Yes, so it's very important from the very beginning to set up together with the advertisers what are the main objectives of the campaign and how fast we are ready to scale and at which point we should switch from the top to the bottom of the funnel. So that is very important from the very beginning. Normally, and how we usually structure the campaigns is in three different types of groups. So we have the learning phase, right? Where we are running the campaigns a little bit more wider. So we can test different types of audiences, different types of offers, also different types of geos to see what is converting the best. And then after the learning phase, we are starting to scale campaigns through the performance max campaigns, where based on the data collected from the initial campaign, the learning phase, we are pushing and focusing and maximizing the budget to those specific audiences, banners, and geos that has brought the most of the conversions. The third stage is where we are launching the retargeting campaigns. And again, we have three different type of users that we recommend to be retargeted. So we are retargeting the user that has landed on the website. Those are the users who have shown intent into the brand, but they haven't done any conversion event. Then we are retargeting the user that has done a sign up, but they haven't done a deposit. This is very important audience that we highly recommend to be used in the retargeting campaigns because it's the most easiest one to convert. And we can use very specific and direct offers for them because they already done a sign up. So you already do half of your job. Now you need to push them to do the first time deposit. And also, for advertisers to increase the lifetime value of the users and for our advertisers to increase the retention rates, we are retargeting the user that has already done a deposit with a specific offer, with a second, third time deposit, where the users can spot that specific offer and do retention to a next second time or third time.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And if we talk about retargeting in comparison to first-time deposits and second, third time, fourth-time deposits, whatever, what traffic sources are useful there? Like, is it the same about display, or you see that maybe push and pop works on retargeting also in a good way?
Display again is something that is performing the best. Also, the video campaigns are performing best in terms of the retargeting, as well as the native ads. So those are the three main formats that we are using for retargeting campaigns.
Okay, I got your idea. Let us know in the comment below if you have experience with running those ads on iGaming, and can you confirm that display is the best, at least with blockchain ads. If you are not still sure about it, we have all links in the description below. You can run tests with Marko and his team. Just let him know via the links in the description. So let's talk about creatives and game library, sports, rewards, brand flags, on-exchange voucher, mystery box, sign-up trade. What actually moves CPA and how many angles do you kill before one scales?
So if you are a newcomer to the platform, we recommend for advertisers to test different types of offer, because through the learning phase, we can actually understand which out of them are the best performing ones. If I need to say, right, what are the best performing at the moment for iGaming industry is the matching the deposit bonus, right? So 100% bonus on your first deposit, or even more than 100% bonus on your first deposit, and also the free spins. So those are the two primary bonuses that the advertisers are using, and those are the biggest, the best offers that are bringing the most conversions.
We didn't mention one important thing. Do we talk about the whole world, tier 1 till tier 3 countries, or we talk about any specific geos?
Yeah, so
what converts the best for you? Yeah.
On more than 180 geos. So we are operating on worldwide. All the numbers that I'm saying is on worldwide level.
Okay, I got your idea. So bonus on first deposit and free spins if we talk about casino brands. What if we talk about betting or forex exchange brands? What converts there?
Yes, for the forex is helping a lot bonuses on the fees. So you have some timeline when you can trade without fees, or you can even get a deposit bonus. Those are the two main offers that are converting the best. In terms of the betting, sports betting, there was the World Cup now, so the World Cup campaigns were performing very, very good. So you always, for sports betting, it's always important to find something related to those events, because there is always hype behind something like the World Cup. So the World Cup was for everybody was like a crazy, very successful campaign.
Definitely. By the way, have you seen a big increase in for volumes or traffic sales on your side during the World Cup? And
Yes.
If you can share, how big was it? Like 2 times, 3 times bigger than usual?
It was actually more than 3 times. We still, since it's still July, we still haven't got through all of the analytics that we have. But from what I have experienced last year and the previous years, and now it was, I would say it was maybe X5.
Amazing results. Congrats on that. So
Yes.
If we are talking about funnels, let's think also about settings. What could you recommend to bring with you? For sure, what I got is to target your audience, and you're trying to not just to launch display or native or whatever, but target the audience. So I guess you have some pixel stuff. But else, I guess you have all those classic targets like mobile OS or a carrier or interest,
Yes.
or whatever you have on board. Tell about it and your recommendations for iGaming and Forex and crypto for sure.
Yes, for the specific audiences, we do have, of course, those specific demographic, right, targeting options that the ad networks are having. But we highly recommend for advertisers to focus on the actual intent of the users and the interest rather than on the demographic. Of course, it's important for you to set up, if you are a mobile platform, right, to target only mobile users so you can get the right traffic. But the main focus always I'm recommending to stay with the audience-based targeting, because that is the most important thing, to find the right fit and to find what is bringing you the most value. So it depends. You mentioned about the campaign settings. This depends mainly on the advertiser goals and objective. So you have advertisers who are looking to decrease the cost per acquisition, but they don't care much about the lifetime value of the users. Then on the other side, you have users who don't care much about the cost per acquisition, but they do care a lot about the lifetime value of the user. So you can have like one user who will deposit more than 50K, or you can have like 100 users who will be small depositors. So this depends on the campaign objective, and that is how we are optimizing the campaigns. The pre-built audiences that we have, they are also different in terms of, so they can match the goals and the KPIs of the advertiser. So if you are looking for a higher lifetime value of the users, we can target high level and high spenders casino players. Then if you are looking to target and the goal is more towards the CPA, you can target play to earn users for whom the CPA might not be that high as the high value players, but the lifetime value of the users, it's gonna be lower. In terms of the optimization, how we are optimizing the campaigns, on the blockchain ads platform, there is a granular report, which is very important for every advertiser. Basically, you can see the whole of the performance of the campaign. You can see the performance by audiences, you can see the performance by geos, and you can see the performance by banners. And actually, the banners is something that you need to look on daily basis, because what might has been working yesterday, today it can change, because the offers are evaluating, right? So there is always different types of offers, different types of what people are interested in, and you always need to follow the trends. From that granular report, you can optimize the campaigns, meaning that you need to keep, you can filter the cost per acquisition, and then you need to check the ad spend, and then you need to check the cost per acquisition, how many leads were brought for what price, and what is the value that they brought. Here, the last point, which is very important and where we support a lot and where we put a lot of effort, because it's probably one of the main struggles that we have at the moment, is the setting up properly the conversion events. We do have 3 different types of setting up the conversion events through the platform. So you can set it up through installing the blockchain ads pixel directly on your website, or you can do an integration with Google Tag Manager, and we do have also server-to-server with postbacks. We do have also integration with a lot of third-party analytics tools such as AppSupply, Mixpanel, Keitaro. Volume is one of our biggest partners at the moment, so you can also integrate blockchain ads with third-party analytics tool, and that is the data that advertisers will optimize on. So the data that they will share with us is actually the data that they're gonna optimize for. So that is why this is really important.
Thank you for sharing. If you would like to know more about technical setup or campaign setup within blockchain ads, let us know in the comments below, and we'll prepare new piece of content sharing those expertise and those launch paths. So, Marko, you mentioned a very interesting thing, that one of your customers, they target CPA and they don't care about LTV, and in the same time there are customers or advertisers, it's better to call them so, and they care about LTV mostly. Very interesting point for me, because I've been working on both sides, and I know that finally for business, for operator, it's important to have a good LTV, and they even ready to pay higher CPA deals for such cases. And if we talk about those who are interested in lower CPAs and don't care about LTV, I guess those guys are affiliates or media buyers, correct?
It can be also a media buyers and also an affiliates, but to give you the right context of this goal can change, right? So for the first month, we are focusing on the CPA while we get a good CPA price, and then based on the all of the database that we received, we are optimizing, and then we are switching to the lifetime value of the users. So always you need to find balance between CPA and lifetime value of the users. But yes, there is advertisers who are specifically looking for lower CPA, and there is advertisers who are specifically looking for lifetime value of the users. Mainly of the ones who are looking for CPA lower prices is the media buyers and is the affiliates.
With your postback or API integration, do you track only the first depositor or the upcoming depositor per the same player on the operator side?
That mainly depends on the setup and the request the advertiser is having. We can do for both, right? If the advertiser want to share us more data, we recommend always to share as much data they can, even the value, which is not always accepted by the advertiser, which is okay. But we always recommend to share as much data they can, so we can actually understand which is bringing the most of the money in the house, right? So if we see that specific offer is bringing the most of the money, then we're gonna be more than happy to recommend, okay, this is what is working for you. This is bringing you money.
Yeah, I can confirm totally. When I've been working on the traffic source side, I had quite the same pain that not everybody is going to share the value of those leads. That's ridiculous, to be honest, because to improve your campaigns, you need to know from where those good and potential leads are coming. And for affiliates, I would recommend to insist, if it's possible, on having more data from the operator side. It will help you to run more quality traffic, more qualified traffic. And finally, it will help to increase your CPA deals and to get more money from the operator side for the good traffic. So keep that one in mind while you launch campaigns. Not only on blockchain ads, but in general, it helps with any traffic source, to be honest. So I think we can talk about cases right now, because setup and formats we covered, you work all over the world. But I guess one more final question in this section. I guess you have not an equal volumes, I would say, in every geo. At least they have different populations. So what are the biggest iGaming, Forex, and crypto geos on your side? And not only about traffic volume, but about the demand from affiliates and advertisers you have on the platform.
Europe, well-developed European countries, tier 1 market, and North America is tier 1 market. Something that will be probably surprising for you, Asia is highly appreciated market in the iGaming space. So everybody is running, or at least started from the beginning of this year to advertise in Asia. And that is one of the biggest markets that is probably acquiring the most of the other markets, right? So yeah, those are the three main markets: Europe, well-developed countries, North America, and then Asia.
If we talk about Asia, is it Southeast Asia or Asia in general? Because Asia is quite big, I would say.
Yes, for the iGaming space is mainly Japan and Korea. Those are the two main markets that they want to go.
Amazing, very interesting. And what about Southeast Asia? Do you have any expertise or volumes there, like Philippines, let's say?
We are running a lot of campaigns at the moment there. So what I can recommend for them is to try localization with ads. It might be interesting because you will never understand what the advertising is said, but it's what is important, that the ads are not for you, but it's for your ideal customer profile. And we find very big success in localization of the ads. So we were running, right? We were teach to run English ads, right? Because we were covering Europe, and then you are covering North America, but then you go in Asia, and then you are running English version of the ads. But we tried to do localization, which was something that brought the most of the conversions. At the moment, in Asia, we are operating on a very high level. The average cost per acquisition in Asia, Japan, Korea, which they are bringing a lot of quality of users, is $138.
It's quite cheap, I would say, as far as I know, and usually on average you should pay higher CPAs to get traffic there, to acquire traffic there. Thank you for sharing. If you're an operator and you're thinking about launching your brands in Asia, give a minute to check our podcast with Renz Gonzalez on our channel. We just recently covered those topics, how to launch casino on Philippines and in Southeast Asia, and combine this experience with current experience in blockchain ads. And I think you will have a smooth launch there. So coming back to the track, we are talking about cases in iGaming and blockchain ads exactly. So quick, honestly question to begin with. A lot of published cases for big casino brands are run by affiliates and not the brand's in-house team as far as I saw. So when we say stake or cloud bet numbers, who is usually the media buyer there?
Okay, so we have, I think, more than 100 accounts for stake. So it's always a different person. They have internal teams and they have different types of media buyers. So they have media buyer for specific region. So you can get approached by the US stake team. You can get approached by the European media buying stake team. So we do have a lot of accounts related to stake, and then we have also the affiliates, right? So we are advertising stake through different angles, right? So we do have the affiliates who we are supporting, and also their media buying team who we are supporting with the ads.
If we compare profits on the platform, if you can share that, who is the biggest part, operators or affiliates? Who is buying on your platform?
I would say it's like here and there 50-50. I don't know the exact number. I never checked it, but it's a good thing that we made. It's a good opportunity to check now. But I have a feeling like it's the 50-50. So we always work with the brands. Yesterday we were doing some recordings, and I was going through the top 100 iGaming projects in 2026. And on the platform, we got them all. So that was something that we were, hey man, we were running through the top 100 iGaming projects, and we have all of them on the platform. So something that I was really satisfied from. We have been working so hard for this for a lot of years. So this is something
quite serious thing. All of those brands on the platform sounds good. Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
Every 100, like we went through the list of 100. You can see.
Good. Amazing. So, Marko, open one case, like you've got the numbers on your phone or just near you. Stake about 1,128 FTDs at 250 CPA, roughly $282K in spend, and 2.5 rows, 13 markets. Or cloud bet, or whatever case you would like to share. Tell us in details when it started, what was there, what creatives, what was the path, how you optimized it, and tell us in details.
Okay, so for we can go with whoever that you want.
Let's start with stake, which I mentioned. Why not?
Okay. Yes. So what I mentioned, right? What I mentioned during the previous topics that we were speaking, there is also always a different type of primary focus that advertiser is having. For this example, stake was looking to acquire high value players. They didn't put focus much on the CPA. Of course, we were looking always to find balance between the numbers. This is a campaign that we were running for, I think it was last year, at the end of the last year. And what we achieved here was we managed to find the right offer that was bringing the most of the value of the users. So we tested different types of offers. Actually, that is why I mentioned that the creatives are very, very, very important. So A/B testing different types of offers, free deposit. And also, since stake there has a lot of capacity, they can have like up to 1 BTC match on your first time deposit. So that's actually a huge thing that you can do. So those type of bonuses is bringing the most of the value of the users.
So crypto bonuses and bonuses on first deposits, and you mentioned 13 markets. So what markets was there? Like the US, I guess, is the biggest. correct? Or
Yes,
any other
we were
geos?
working mainly on North America, and also we were covering Canada. North America and Canada was for this specific campaign the main markets.
I got your idea. And so the profits was 2.5 times bigger in comparison to spends. And for how long you've been running those campaigns?
This was a campaign for 4 months that we were running. It was a 4 months.
So during 4 months, about 1,000 FTDs, let's say roughly it's about 500 FTDs during 1 month. Quite a good result, to be honest. And if we talk about crypto, let's take any case which is in your mind right now about crypto. Tell us more about it.
Yes. So what I wanted also to add about Stake is that, hey, Stake is a huge brand, and it's really easy to work with them. And I really like when you work with the highest brand because they understand the media buying thing, and they understand the learning phases and everything related to find the right success. And that is something that I also highly recommend for even the smaller casinos and the advertisers. What is really important to set up properly your expectations from the very beginning of the campaign, because you cannot expect a miracle to happen through a night, right? We need to understand from where the most of the conversions are coming and which is bringing the most of the value, and then we can scale everything, and that is fine. I understand, since I'm a paid advertising person myself, I'm a media buyer, I understand that you need to find the quick win, so you can either justify yourself in front of your management, right, and everything, but setting up right expectation and proper setup is what is actually the most important thing. So yeah, sorry for jumping out the topic.
No problem. Well, then I have one more question about Stake. Yes. So what was the average deposit amount there if you track this information?
I don't know the exact information, to be honest, but I need to check so I can tell you.
Okay, and you mentioned like about $300K dollars in campaign spend on this activity. Is it always like that, big like that? I mean, what amount you should spend to get first results, at least? Let's say I'm a newbie, I'm an affiliate. What amount should I have in my pocket to begin with you and to get first FTDs? And what is most important, not just FTDs, but maybe quality one, to have an approval from an operator side and continue working with you?
No, you cannot compare one advertiser to another. Even you cannot compare PC games with Stake. So every brand is a different story to another. And especially when you are a smaller brand and when you want to compete, for example, with Stake and to get the same prices, it's not realistic. Advertisers are not on the same level of awareness. People don't know much about them. Since it's iGaming space, people feel they know the brand, right? For example, Stake, they know the brand, so it's easier for them to convert on Stake rather than to some new projects who was created like a few months ago. You need to go through the whole consideration, through the whole awareness consideration and the scaling phase, so you can actually understand and actually try to get to the level of how much Stake is printing in terms of user acquisition. And that's why I mentioned the proper setting up the proper expectations and the campaign setup. No, we don't always get the same results. The results are not always positive. Never will be always positive. What we always trying to find a way is how we can support the advertiser to maximize the potential and the outcome of the campaigns. So we have been running a campaign where we haven't received a sign up or deposit for a week. And then myself, I went through their funnel and I actually spotted their sign up funnel is broken. So it was a 7-day communication back and forth why the campaigns are not working. And I tested like 100 different things, and I was so into it, trying to solve everything. And I was, wait, let me test their funnel. So I went on the funnel, and actually the landing page and the sign up form was broken. And
I thought it should be done in the very beginning before even the traffic launch. What I usually do, I test the funnel, I make a test registration, I see it's tracking on all the platforms, and after that I launch the traffic. How is it possible? That's very funny.
It is. We do have two types of users. To give you context, we have users who are under the managed service, and we do have users who are self-service. So we qualify users under the managed service, and then we support them with a full dedicated account manager who is supporting them with the setting up campaigns, preparing the media plan, optimization of campaigns, and sharing the insights from the campaign together with the verification of the conversion events. Self-service, it's not like a self-service. They do have like a support in chat where you can always find the team. We create always internal groups where we communicate with the advertisers, and that is where we are communicating with the advertiser. So not all of the time we are all over their campaign setup. On the platform, there is more than 10,000, 20,000 active campaigns at some point. So you cannot always be all over them, but through the managed service, yes, you do have a full support, meaning that we are verifying the conversion events mainly because of the pixels and the conversion event set. So we are doing a test on deposit and test on the sign up. So we make sure that we are collecting data properly. In this case, it was advertisers from the self-service. But whenever I hear that somebody is struggling on the platform, it's when something is like a red light is turning on in my head. This is my game. I want to help advertisers who are struggling mainly on the platform. The ones who are running good, they have their own account manager, and they are scaling.
Thank you for sharing, but I guess you haven't answered my question about the budget, minimum budget for a newbie. And by newbie, I mean not an operator, because operator has much more volumes and powers to have a launch in comparison to affiliate. Let's say it's a newbie affiliate, maybe even a student or a marketing manager, the beginner media buyer, something like that. What is the easiest gear, up to personal opinion, to start? What are the prices there, and how much money should I spend to get first depositors there? Let's say it's gonna be, I don't know, Uzbekistan, and you should spend $500 to get first deposit there. It's just my imagination about it. What can you share here?
Yes. So what is really important is for you to be ready to scale, because it's not easy. You need to spend some money through the learning phase so you can actually understand what is bringing you value. But the system requirement to get started on the platform is $10,000, and that is the minimum campaign budget to get started on the platform. And the recommendation is to start with at least 30-40K, so you can scale the campaigns. That is the recommendation. The platform is built for mass growth and user acquisition at scale. So the capacity is big. The minimum daily ad spend is $360. And for you to find a success, you need to collect data in. We are targeting its audience-based advertising. We need to get data in so we can actually understand what are the offers that are bringing the most value. And then out of those numbers, we are scaling hard. We are scaling and focusing on that.
I got your idea. So it's not possible to start with you if you don't have 10K in your pocket. Okay, keep that one in mind. And
in the pocket to even start, you need to be. If you have only $10,000 in your pocket, we recommend not even to start.
Oh, like that. But to be honest, that's a good approach, because what I saw within push and pop traffic, let's say about 10 years ago, when it just appeared, it was easy to start even with $100 or $500. That's what enough to have positive ROIs and so on. And lately, what I saw, you are right, Marko. So you need to have big volumes for optimizations. You need to have big budgets to optimize it. So it's not so easy to start right now, but if you have those resources, that's a beautiful tool to scale your campaigns and to scale your profits. And we've been trying to talk one more thing about crypto case and Forex case. Let us know one crypto case which was good for you and one Forex case.
Okay, so the same as for the iGaming, we have been working with the most of the crypto and exchanges projects from the centralized exchanges. We are working with Binance, we are working with Bybit, we have been working with crypto.com, OKX. At the moment, we are working with Maxi. From the decentralized exchanges, we have been working with MetaMask, with Trust. We have been working with a lot of payment processors. So we went through again and we are working with the most of the exchanges, at least the layer 1 and the layer 2 exchanges. Regarding something that I can share, it's a case study that can be about Bybit. So we have been running different types of campaigns. Actually, what I wanted to share here is a case study that we were running for Algorand. So Algorand is an infrastructure. They have different types of projects, and they're the same way as all of those exchanges are operating. And an interesting campaign, we were running a Formula 1 event campaign, which there were the main sponsors last year in Dubai. Not in Dubai, the Formula 1 event was in Saudi Arabia. I don't know which is that place, but it was a campaign that we were running for them. We find a lot of success, and what I want also to share is always what is performing good is to find something related to that campaign, some specific event that will push that will push users to convert. So we can go over the Bybit case study. So I can give you the exact numbers regarding the campaigns and what we did. For Bybit, we have been running campaigns for 3 months. Key markets was Europe, Latam. Those were the main markets, and the main objective was to acquire users to acquire a low-cost CPA on a new trader. And then we changed after this campaign the goal to acquire high-value traders. The main challenge was to find the right campaign structure and the right targeting, and how we solved that was actually through the granular report, where we identified what was performing the best in terms of the audience. So we tested different types of audiences. We targeted specific token holders, specific user behavior, such as trading, bridgers, swappers, and then the biggest investors, and target specific wallet portfolio sizes. Where we find the success was in actually specific token holders and specific wallet portfolio sizes. We targeted the top 20 tokens that were at the moment and the networks, and we targeted only high value wallets above 500K to 10 million.
Amazing. So you can target even by wallets, and those wallets you have on your own, or an operator share with you those wallets, and you target those wallets by yourself. How does it work?
Yes, it's a technology. It's Web3 technology that I mentioned in the very beginning. So it's a mix between the Web2 and the Web3 cookie. So a digital footprint is built that contain both the advertising data and the Web3 data that is related to the wallet. So that's how that is the mix between the regular Web2 cookie and the Web3 cookie. That technology is built by the blockchain ads tech.
Very interesting. So let's say I have a database of crypto wallets. Let's say I'm a casino operator, not an exchanger. And I would like to run campaigns for a particular database of crypto wallets. Is it possible to run with you, or do you need any additional information on those wallets?
Yes, we just need the wallet, and you can target only by uploading your customer list, right? Or in this case, your wallets. What we are doing is we are matching with the user ID that we have in our system, and we are targeting only those specific wallets. Just a note that for this to be able to be a successful campaign, right? It needs to be a wallet list of at least 100K of wallets, at least.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. For those operators who is watching us, keep that one in mind. You just need a list of crypto wallets, and I believe many of you have at least even fiat casinos. Many of you have at least some part of crypto players. And what I've heard from operators, they are always struggle how to get more crypto users, how to retain those. So the idea is come to Marko, share those wallets and run campaigns on those wallets. I believe you have a database of churn wallets also. This is the potential point of growth for you. Keep that one in mind. And if we are talking about coming back to exchangers and crypto business, Bybit exactly, what creatives are used there? Because they have no free spins for sure or bets. What do you use to attract new potential customers to Bybit?
Yes, they do have. They don't have the free spins, but of course that they need to have different types of offers. So they have like a prize pool. The last time when we were running the campaigns for them, they had a big prize pool, and what you need to do was to trade. There was like a pool to vote, and then you are qualified, and you are able to get a piece of that prize pool. That was one of the offers that they were using, and that is actually from where the most of the conversions were coming.
And this prize pool, it's similar to sweepstake technology. So you join the prize pool and you have some chance to win or iPhone or whatever. Does it work like that?
Yes. Trade today, either it's incentivization like money or some fee, or it's a price.
And if we talk about CPAs for Bybit or crypto industry, let us know about average numbers, let's say in the US, in Europe, and in Asia.
Yes. When we started running the campaigns with Bybit, the CPA was a little bit higher than the industry average. We were running at above $500, if I'm not wrong. 570 actually, I have the numbers in front of me. $570. And what we did throughout the campaigns, we managed to drop that number to a decrease of 56%, or actually to $250. And this is actually what made that partnership to stay for a very longer period, was actually our support with them finding the right way or how they can at the beginning set up and also then scale the campaigns. You mentioned 3 markets, right? You mentioned Europe, you mentioned the US, and you mentioned one more.
Asia.
We are not running at the moment campaigns for Bybit in Asia, but for US and for Europe. The US market is a little bit more expensive than the Europe. We are running at 234 at the moment, 235 spot per acquisition for Bybit, while in the US we are operating at around close to 300, something below to 300, but 295, something around.
Thank you for sharing. And let's talk one more case from Forex side. You had OANDA case, as far as I remember. Tell us about it.
Yes. So for the OANDA case studies, it was a campaign that lasted for two months. It was a huge campaign. They spent close to 400K. And the main challenge was that they aimed to convert high-intent regulated platform traders into verified crypto depositors within 60 days. The key obstacles that we have was to find the right audience that we can target, and also to have a CPA efficiency at scale. So we have a lot of budget that we need to use, but what you need to be very careful when we have a budget is to find the balance, right, between the cost per acquisition and also the lifetime value of the users. So the campaign was 60-day long. We brought more than 2K users across that window. The cost per acquisition from that campaign was 155, though down from 401, which they have as a industry average. So the numbers that we have was very good. It was a successful campaign. So the campaigns was also divided into two phases. The phase one was the moment where we were doing the awareness and consideration stage. For the whole 4-1, we were testing different banners, testing different audiences. And then once we gathered that data for the first 30 days, we used the last 30 days and scale and push everything to what has already proven that is working good.
Sounds very interesting. And if we compare volumes of iGaming, crypto, and forex brands on your platform, where is the biggest part of your business? iGaming, crypto, or forex, or it's totally equal three parts?
I think that depends on the current trends in the industry, right? So at the moment we have, at the very beginning, we have most of the blockchain and crypto projects, right? The memes, the NFTs in the very beginning, exchanges, and everything. Then it was the iGaming, right? And then together with the iGaming, it was the trading platforms as well. Become something that was really interesting for the market. Now something that is also pushing a lot is the prediction markets. So now we have a very big demand for the prediction markets. Like it's huge demand. Everybody they're printing like prediction market new platforms. Like it was the same for the iGaming. You can still find more than I don't know how much thousands of new iGaming projects on daily basis, but it's the same at the moment. And I think that it's a market that needs to be that you need to carefully watch for the next 1-2 years. I think that it will be a very interesting market.
Exactly, it's a stunning market across the US, and I know many platforms in Europe are going to launch or already launched the same approach. So keep that one in mind. And if you would like to watch for more case studies, visit blockchain.com, blockchainads.com to be more precise. They have those beautiful case study section on their website. Many cases, we just try to pick 3 examples on 3 different industries for you, but they have much more. So be sure you visit it and get those expertise before the first launch.
Yes.
So let's talk. Yeah, you have a comment here? Yeah.
What I want to say, we do have more than 200 something plus case studies on the website. What will be very interesting is that we started to shoot all of those case studies, so you can also find them as videos. It will be a short version. It will be very interesting. You will have the person who was mainly involved in the campaign, so they will go over the challenges of the campaigns and how we helped the brand and what was the outcome. So it's in production. The first episode should start something from the beginning of next week. I'm very excited to see how that will go, but also it's a good opportunity to introduce to the listeners.
200 case studies, that's outstanding. I have never seen anything like that, to be honest. Usually it's 20-30 case maximum, or at least several of those. 200 of those, I think you have like a guidebook or playbook even for any brand or any vertical to start, or if there is not any you would like to launch. let Marko know. He will help you with it. So let's talk about scaling, about burning money. We mentioned already about Nubis and that 10K is a minimum, or even that's not enough. So let's talk about two ways a borrower tortures the first 50,000 on this kind of traffic. Be mean, be specific. What should a new launcher with good money, with good budget, which is required to have success here and get his first 50K, let's say?
Yes. It's something that I'm probably repeating myself. What is very important is to set up properly your expectations. That means that you need to understand on which level is your brand at the moment, and based on that to start preparing the expectations and the KPIs. And with the support from the blockchain ads team, we can assist with preparing the media plan and the forecast. We cannot guarantee, but we can compare your brand with the other brands, what has been working, what was not working. We can support in that direction so we can maximize the potential of the campaign, so we can share actually what was working and what was not working, so you don't just burn money, right? It's the good thing that advertisers need to understand that you can, if you know what you are doing, you are not burning money. But just you need to know what you are doing. If you are just like hoping that something will happen through the night, you are burning money, right? You can burn 100K in a day. It's not a problem. You're gonna burn, but you need to have a strategy behind it. It not always be successful strategy, but it's gonna be a big learn behind it. You can always have a positive outcome. You cannot always have a positive ROI out of advertising. If somebody tells
that's obvious. That's obvious. There is no money button in our industry, so we need to test, optimize, and so on. But you mentioned 10K and let's say 20, 30K to scale. This is not to spend for one day, yes? It's like for a month. So what period of time?
Yes, let's go through what you will receive, right? So you are aiming for lifetime value users, right? So that means that you want to buy a little bit more expensive users. You are aiming to target at around $2-3 CPC in this market, where you are competing against PC games, against Stake, against Rainbet, against everybody, right? So you are trying to acquire a user click website visitor at around $2-3. So out of 10,000, what you will receive, right? You will receive, for example, 4 to 6 website visitors at an average campaign, right? And then what is your converting rate? That is really important for you to know and to understand, right? How many of your users that has landed actually on your website are converting? How many of your users that has converted as a sign-up, they are converting as a first-time depositor? So there are a lot of factors that you need to go through it. And we do also support advertisers through managed service, so we can actually get the data in and understand and actually find the value out of those reports. Because not everybody is putting much focus into those topics, right? So
that's ridiculous if they don't put the attention on those topics, because it's like the basement of your marketing campaigns. It should be a basement.
Yes.
You mentioned very interesting.
Who are looking to have like a 10-cent traffic and to get lifetime value of users of $10,000. Okay. Tell me the place I will go.
Yeah, I think there is a long line to this place. So you mentioned a very interesting thing about conversions, and somebody is hunting for clicks and impressions, somebody is hunting for CPA, somebody is for LTV. That's clear. How much time or budget or clicks should I get on your platform to figure out if this hypothesis is working or not? Let's say what my usual approach is when I'm running a particular ad set or a banner. I spend, let's say, depends on the traffic source, about 100 clicks on push traffic, more on other traffic, and less on Facebook or PPC. What is your approach on your platform? How many conversions should I make to figure out, should I scale this one or I should kill it and try another hypothesis?
The timeline is not that much important. What is important is how fast you are ready to scale, because you can bring 10,000 users in a day if you are ready to scale, or you can bring you can run at a minimum and bring around 100, 200 users on daily basis. So the main here thing is how fast you are ready to scale. You can optimize the campaigns starting from day one, right? But what is recommended to receive at least 2,000 website visitors, so you can make the first action point, and you start with optimizing towards click-through rate on the banners, what is bringing the most value, what is bringing the most conversions. In terms of conversions, I completely understand that advertisers are looking to get the first conversion in the same day. Usually that time frame starting somewhere around 24, 72 hours. That is something that, believe me, it's ideal. It's when advertisers receive the first conversion after 24 hours, that's a good thing. Even though they expect to have the first conversion in the first day. At the moment when you launch, you spend something, and where are the conversions?
I can confirm, and even on gambling or betting, let's say, in general, it's easier to get conversions and even depositors. And in comparison to Forex, I've been running Forex with similar traffic sources about like already 5 years ago. And this path from click to registration to first deposit in Forex, it can take even 2 weeks on average. It's quite higher and bigger, I would say. Sorry for interrupting. Please go on.
No worries. It's actually a very good point. So for me, it's what is the most hardest thing to do is actually to predict. We cannot guarantee, but to predict. And when you predict some things, you always need to be very curious with the numbers, especially because you will set up the expectations for the advertiser, right? So if you shoot a number right, 200 CPA, something that we're gonna aim, that's gonna be something that they will aim, right? And the media buyers and the people who are doing the strategy needs to be very careful where they're, I don't know if they're selling or if they're preparing the strategy or if they want to show up, right? But you need to be very careful while setting up. You need to understand the level, you need to understand all of the metrics behind the projects. What are the conversion rates? What is converting? Why did it convert? Why they don't convert? What is converting for them? And then based on that, and based on the experience that you have, on what you have achieved with the other brands, you can give always kind of a recommendation and forecast. In terms to answer your question,
My question was about conversions, like how many of those should I get till figure out if hypothesis works good or not? And we talk not about the whole brand in general. We talk about particular ad set, because when I'm running campaigns, for example, I launch at least 5-10 different banners, different ad sets to figure out if it works better, if there is high CTR, let's say there are more conversions, there is better LTV, and so on. And so how many of those conversions should I get to understand, should I scale this approach or I should stop it and try something else?
This metric cannot be only related to conversions, right? Because you can get 0 conversions and you need to pause that specific banner, right? So you cannot get
exactly enough. Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
So you can conclude in terms of conversions, but banners, beside the conversion metrics, is very important. The click-through rate, right? How many of the users visited, spotted the ad, and how many clicked, and then to see the conversion rate from click to convert, right? Because you have banners who are bringing a lot of attention and they're actually clicking on it, but they are not converting. And then what? You have a good CTR, but then you don't have conversions. And then you go in front of the advertiser and say, this is working good, but it's not working good at the end. Why? Because it can be a mismatch behind the landing page and the creative. We do have campaigns where they offer, I don't know, something 100% deposit bonus, right? They don't have it. People cannot find it. right? And then you go.
Or sign-up form is not working, as you mentioned in the very beginning.
Sign-up form is not working. Okay, I came because I want the 100% deposit bonus, but you don't have it, right? So you.
Yeah, ridiculous.
All of the factors are very important. As more I'm working into this market, the more things that I'm getting, that the details are very important for every brand. When you start, right, you always try to push as much as the CPA to find the right sources, but then you say, okay, what might change this, right? What might change this? But you need to take it actually into deep and to understand. Because
I can confirm.
As you mentioned, you cannot have sign-ups if your sign-up form is broken.
Correct. Thank you for sharing. I think that's enough for a very interesting technical part, case part, and so on. If you still have questions, let us know in the comments below, and we will shoot up a follow-up for you. I hope so, because I expect more and more questions about those cases and about this platform which show up on our channel. So, Marko, to give several moments of fun, I would say to our audience, let's talk a little bit about yourself personally. Try not to focus on conversions and technical stuff, and not to be super boring, but to be fun. So let's start with your usual Tuesday, let's say, when all three verticals are on fire. How do you act? How do you split those tasks? As the head of performance, I believe you have a team and many tasks during the day. How do you compete this challenge?
I'm happy that you didn't ask me for Monday, because I needed an hour to explain you what I'm doing on Monday, but Tuesday is a good day.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, there is always fire. There is always positive things, and there will always be fire. What I want to say always is that it needs to be hard. Right? You cannot find easy success. There is no easy success. If you want to figure it out, the things you need to understand, you need to go through the whole process, right? Sleepless nights, hitting your head in the wall, so trying to figure out what can work better than the previous time. But it's an environment that I really like. So personally, myself, I want to operate in a fast-paced environment. I want to be in the middle of the fire myself. What I'm trying to achieve as a characteristic, right, is to be the problem solver and always to figure out a solution, what we can do. And it's what is really interesting that people are thinking that you need to be very smart, right, to find the solution. But you need to be very creative. You don't need to be very smart. Sometimes you need to look stupid, right, in front of the others, just so you can find the right solution and to test different types. It's more that you need to be creative than smart. We do have a team of more than 50 account managers, so it's a lot of back and forth, questions, trying to be as much as I can be everywhere. I'm very proud of the team. I spent a lot of effort in that team. I share all of the experience that I have. I will share all of my experience that I had with them, and they have the full support. Usually on Tuesday, and how we are resolving is through ticketing system. So there is a ticket, open a request, we try to solve, and the end of the day, prior we end up with the working hours. Well, prior they end up with working hours. Myself, I don't have working hours. I'm on the platform trying to figure it out everything all of the time. We are trying to identify what is something that we have left, and something so we don't leave the advertiser, right, waiting for us, which is really important. Always open communication with the advertisers are very important, something that everybody should understand. Always be completely transparent with what is going with the campaigns, right? There always cannot be successful campaigns. We can experience bad performing campaigns, but always be transparent and always try to find a way how you can optimize and find the maximum potential of the campaign. And what is really important, never have regrets. Don't have regrets for anything. I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. Do it. Like, just do it. I could do that. For myself, just one thing, no regrets.
Exactly.
Right, it might be successful or not successful, but it's a different types of regret, right? But at the end of the day, if I could do more, no, I have no regret.
Yeah. Awesome, you have such a great passion about your work. Just one more final question. It's gonna be a little bit coming back to a tech stuff, but try not to make it a super tech answer. Cookies are dying, fraud is everywhere, and what I see, fraud is increasing, bot traffic is increasing, not on your platform. Yeah, we will figure it out later, but generally on the market. And it's harder and harder to run campaigns to get profits out of those. Why are you still here? Why are you still in this industry? And why are you still trying to do your best and to get profits here? What runs you? What drives you?
Personally, myself,
Yes.
when I started working in the advertising industry, it was thinking of should I go from the very beginning from the university, should I go to study engineering or should I go study marketing? So I went to marketing, but I liked engineering probably more even, but also marketing was something that was I'm very interested in. And I was working across few agencies as a paid advertising specialist. So I was buying traffic, I was running campaigns, I was managing campaigns either for internal campaigns and also for other clients. And then we started working with Vlad, Jack, and Marko. We started working and operating as a crypto agency. Lean Marketing was the name of the agency. It was 6 years ago. And they were all operating even more. I joined like 6 years ago, and we were trying to figure it out a solution, how we can help the Web3 advertisers actually advertise, because you cannot, they weren't able to advertise on Meta, on Google. It was about licensing, it was about everything related to it. So we thought, okay, let's sit down, see what they need, see how we can support them, see everything that they need, right? And that's actually how the project started, Blockchain Ads. Now, for more than 5 years, even more than 5 years, we are trying to find and to what is the right approach for the advertisers. And what we really find success is actually that assistance with setting up an optimization of the campaigns. That is something that is really helping us. But for me, the main love of the engineering and the marketing was something that is still driving me up. I always want to be included in whatever we do on the platform. So I'm always thinking about new features that we can do so we can support advertisers, always included in those part of stuff. But I also do want to do the paid advertising. So that is my story.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing everyday challenges. It's very important to, and you need to have a passion of those for those everyday challenges. Not everybody can manage it, but if you can, you're gonna be a star within our industry. Marko,
simple. Just don't give up. It's very simple. It will be sleepless night, pain. I don't know what. You will go through everything. You will experience everything, but just don't quit.
No pain, no gain. I got you. I got your slogan. So one more.
I cannot lose. I don't quit.
Sure. So one final wish to the audience watching us right now, for media buyers, for affiliates, for casino operators who want to get those FTDs on trader traffic or casino traffic or crypto traffic, whatever. Not a company slogan, please. One practical line, Marko.
First, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for joining us. What I would recommend for every media buyer, for every affiliate, for every operator itself, is to properly set the expectations and to properly set the media plan, which is very important, so you can scale your campaigns. Without this, believe me, as we mentioned, you will just burn money. You will not do anything. You will just burn money. Have a good approach, have a good strategy behind it. Set up everything as it's a learning phase and actually find value from that learning phase. Have a good approach in terms of the optimization, how fast you are ready to scale and how fast you will start with the optimization protocols. Ask questions, push the teams to ask questions. That is something that I always like to do. Ask, right? If you don't know, you can always ask and figure it out, right? So instead of you losing time like thinking about what might be the solution, or oh, this is so hard, I cannot figure it out, just go out there and figure it out, right? It's that simple. And for you to be on the easiest way to be able, you need to have a good preparation, you need a good strategy, forecast, what you will present. Think about what you will present in the first week with your management, right? Myself, I am always thinking, okay, so I need to present myself in front of the management. What is important for them, right? What they want to hear? Do they want to hear about click-through rate? I think no, right? What you think that the CEO knows what is click-through rate? They might know, but right, it's not actually what is important. What is important is for them to understand what is the end goal, where we are at this position, what are our KPIs. Is it the KPIs realistic? I understand that you will get when you go out there and say we want to have a KPI of 500. They will tell you, okay, you can put 250, but is that a realistic number, right? How fast we can achieve that? Okay, we can achieve, but what needs to happen for that to be achieved? So always have a good preparation, good strategy behind it, and always try to find value of the traffic that you are advertising on, whatever is the source. Is it programmatic, contextual? Try to find the value out of it. So try to understand what it's about, not just running campaigns around it, but try to understand the value out of it. So it will help you a lot with learning phase, and it will help you a lot with scaling up the companies.
Thank you for this one wish. It was outstanding speech in the beginning. This was Where Is My Money podcast. Thank you, Marko, for the real talk about formats, funnels, CPA numbers across casino, crypto, and forex, and for the 5 minutes as humans. If it helped, subscribe to our PKAds YouTube channel, like, share with your media buy chat. Comments, are you buying as an affiliate or for a brand, and what killing your CPA right now? Audience, creatives, or the landing pages? Best questions we will pull for a follow-up. Guests, LinkedIn, and the case studies were referenced, links in the description. Until next time, keep optimizing, keep ranking, keep winning. Curiosity is vital, remember this thing. Bye-bye.